Hi everyone, this is Gavin from Gavin's Gadgets, and today we're going to take a quick look at first impressions of the Samsung Galaxy S8 Plus. No, sorry, it's S9 Plus. It's so different. This is the Samsung Galaxy S9 Plus. Look, fingerprint changed. Anyway, joke aside, let's go take a look. I've had a lot of time with this already, and I'm going to go through my first impression and a quick look at some photos as well. Cheers. Okay, so this is the S9 Plus. It's in the official Samsung silicone case. What I do like is the fingerprint is actually quite easy to get to now. It's in a much better position. I'm not so keen on this rubber case, I must be honest. It doesn't feel particularly nice. It seems to pick up a lot of dust as well when it's in my pockets. So you've got this new dual aperture camera where you've seen how all that works. But I just want to go through some of this now. I'm trying to unlock it and it's done it. Also I'm behind the camera. Now you see that's normally a bit faster. This is completely set up. There's, my SIM is in there. There's no messing around and stuff like that. And you saw the notifications very quickly. It's just working really well. So I've got a number of different games in here, different media type apps. Shopping tools, productivity. I've disabled all the Microsoft apps and OneDrive. I don't need those, so they're not showing that. It's the only thing I've actually done in terms of disabling it all. But this screen is really, really nice. And the other thing is, if you're coming from a lot of flagships, it does have a headphone socket, so more on that very shortly. Obviously, this is very typical Samsung. You have got all the various toggles here, but what you can do is you can, in terms of the button grid, you can change the options there, and I've gone through as many as possible. What I currently have missing, this is on the 3 network, is Wi-Fi calling, but I have been reliably told that some of the S9 phones should be built in as standard, so that's just investigating that and I'll come back to you. In terms of the camera, this new setup is super fast as always, and you've got now these very easy to move different modes, and you can see how it goes into the various different modes here, and I'll be testing all those out in a lot more detail. To give you some idea, if you're in the sort of pro mode, the various options you have, you've got ISO from 800 to 500. Let's do that again. You can, and you saw that I just quickly by accident slid back and out different modes. That actually wasn't trying to do that at all, and that could be quite annoying. So here you can see that there isn't actually much range in the ISO. In terms of shutter speed, the maximum you've got is 10 seconds, which is a bit disappointing, but that's what you've got. You've also got different filters, autofocus, and if I just 1 second, just bring that back. So you can see, let's just put something in front there. So if I look at manual focus, and as I do that again, yeah, it's got focus peaking. Can you see the green that comes up? That's so you get it actually nice and sharp in focus. And you can alter the white balance and exposure. But if we come out of that, your straightforward auto mode, it will decide for itself whether it wants to do the 1.5 aperture. And here's the aperture control here. So you can change it to 1.5, which makes it super bright, as you can see. Or if you want a slightly sharper, more crispy image, which is better for brighter lights, you have that. You've got a food mode, so you've got all the basics here, and you've got the live focus, which will give a bit of background blur. We have a quick look at some of the settings, the additional settings. Here you've got picture size, and you can see the various options, and there's a tick box here for say RAW and JPEG as well. Video size, and you can see it goes up to the 60 frames per second in 4K. auto HDR, that's tracking, super slow-mo, timer, auto HDR, rich tone, and shooting methods. If you go into that, tap screen, show palm, tap heart rate sensor, grid lines, quick launch, storage location. I always save to internal, even never to the micro SD card. Internal is always faster. There is the annoying Bixby button down there as well. And you've got a few other little options here down the side. So if you tap there, you have full view. You've got flash. I always take flash off, I don't like flash. Here you've got various filters that you can quickly apply as well. And beauty mode, again not too keen on those. And back to your settings. So it's a very, very simple camera app. Looking at some of the sound options, what I wanted to show you is, if I go to Bluetooth, I've deliberately got my Sony WH-1000X MX2 connected, and if I tap here, and what you've noticed here at the moment, that it's not showing any high-res codec. Now that's because if I go to devices and if I go to headphones, which is the Sony headphone app, and it says I'm only connected in low res mode, but if I change that and I put priority on sound, and it'll tell me it will need to reconnect, which it'll do. And it's connecting. That's now LDAC. If I now go back to where I was in the settings, you'll see here the LDAC, high quality audio in use, and you can toggle that on or off. It does make a difference to the quality. That's one of the neat little tricks. Now, if what I'm going to do is just turn Bluetooth off for a second, and I'm just going to grab a pair of wired headphones and plug these in. What I can do, if I go into sounds, not notifications, sounds and vibrations, and if I scroll down to sound quality and effects, we have Dolby Atmos, and here if you turn it on you can see you've got 4 different options as well. You've also got the equalizer settings, and you can go advanced, have the graphic equalizer. I have the UHQ upscaler on, or Tube Amp Pro, some people quite like that. And adaptive sound is actually really, really good to use. Sorry, down here, adaptive sound, because it does it like a hearing test and it personalises the sound for your ears, and you might be, you know, quite surprised at the difference, and you can set up different profiles depending on the headphones. But that's the advantage when you've got a headphone jack. Just looking quickly at the camera, so I've done a few shots. Oh god, these are the AR emojis. They are awful. They are truly, truly awful. So here are some of mine. Really, you know, well, I mean, they're stupid. I mean, they make some people laugh briefly, but they are really, really stupid. Right, so this was the very first photo that I've taken on this phone. It was heaving with rain, pouring down. It was fairly getting dark, so a nice low light shot, and the quality of this is absolutely wonderful. Here goes a bit darker. Now here I did drop the exposure down. This was in auto, but you can drop the exposure. There's a little icon on the screen, you tap it. And this was how dark it really sort of was. There's lots of fog. Again, it was absolutely pouring with rain. I was getting pretty drenched. And you can see that this is a pretty good shot. And again, just in the same spot. You know, this time no exposure change, but look how bright it looks. You know, that's how dark it was. That's without the exposure change. I think it does benefit having a drop in exposure, but again, it's really good in the low light. I prefer this because there isn't any sort of weird extra noise that the Pixel does when it's fog or very low light. It puts a lot of noise in the photos, whereas these are very clean. Look at that, very, very clean shot. Anyway. Okay, so you've had a quick look at my sort of first impressions, what's in the box, that sort of stuff. I'm going to spend a bit more time on the camera. I have taken a few photos, as you've seen. I've also removed some from the gallery that you haven't seen, because they're quite interesting and I want to spend some more time with them. I also have here, this is the iPhone 10, and there's quite a big difference between these two, more than that's out there at the moment. I want to sort of go through some of those differences, what I feel you should know about. So camera on this, going to talk about headphones as well. You know, can they power some big Beyer dynamic headphones? How to the Sony top of the range Sony sound with the LDAC on these. And I've got some special FiiO F9 Pro in-ears as well. I'm going to do that, and a whole other ton of headphones and Bluetooth ones as well I haven't mentioned. I've got some Optima New Force B38, which I'm going to run through these as well. But everything I'm going to give, all the features, everything, a real good run through. Anyway, this is Gavin from Gavin's Gadgets. Catch you guys soon. Bye.